the 14th, I think. Got that right? Let's just make sure. I've also got the ASX, that's 49. We've got forecasts coming up on the 14th of April. And you should be able to book in for that now. 6, 7. That's my mum finally calling me. 1 second. Mum, how you going? Yeah, okay, good. Can I call you back because I've just started my webinar for this morning, so I'll call you back in about 2 hours. Is that okay? 2 hours, yeah. Okay, see you, Mum. Bye. Mum never calls me, so it's kind of weird. She's now in a nursing home. And she usually calls twice. So Mum's called twice. Okay, let's get going with this one. I'm sorry, I'm still actually not that well. I slept for quite a few days actually. Welcome to the ASX Speed Webinar for today, which is Friday, April 4th, 2025. And here's the disclaimer and warning, and just remember this is general advice only by Best Trading Proprietary Limited, the corporate authorised representative AR 2895119 Public Securities, AFSL 330757, level 14, 5 Martin Place, Sydney. This is general advice and does not constitute financial products advice or personal advice, and does not take into account your investment objectives, financial situation, or particular needs. Prior to seeking advice from Adest Trading Proprietary Limited, you should obtain and consider your broker's FSG and product disclosure statement issued by and available from Alpha Securities or your broker platform provider. And just remember, trading and investing are risky businesses, and you could lose money if you are not careful. And do not use stop losses. You can still lose money if you use stop losses too. We have short-term bear pause warnings in AGL.ASX, SORI.ASX, Orica, new line, STO.ASX, new line, WBC.ASX, new line, WW.ASX, new line. We have short-term bullhorns warnings in new line, AMC.ASX, new line, BSL.ASX, new line, BlueScope Steel, new line. Yearly charts column, BSL.ASX has been doing well despite Trump's tariffs. Stop should be at $18, new line. Hopefully it can get a little bit more of a wriggle on up towards $25, new line. Monthly charts column. We have a stop loss at $20.97, look down towards $19.06 if it breaks. New line. It doesn't look bad. My guess is it probably got a rally towards $32.41 on the top side. New line. Weekly charts column. On the weekly charts, what we see here is a pullback down. Stop should be at $21.04. Look for $20.40 or $19.06. Look up towards $22.98. New line. daily charts, Colin. Stop loss should be at $21.02. Nice that it did a bit of slam down and then a pick up. So a rally back up towards $23.15 if it goes against the rest of the market. New line. New line. Let's move on. I don't know if I can handle a long webinar, but let's do this. New line. XAO.ASX, All Ordinaries Index. We can see that it got down probably a frag below previous lows. Maybe not even that. A low at 79.63.7. Previous low was 79.49. So that's kind of a double bottom. Let's have a look at the Australian Share Price Index futures, which I did earlier. And that hasn't made new lows. We are coming now to the end of the bear phase in terms of my time window, which I gave you a while back, saying from about mid-April to about the 6th of, mid-March to about the 6th of April. We're kind of near the end. So a little squirt below would be good. A bit of a panic this morning would be perfect to snaffle up some Australian shares, and the negativity seems to be going for it. So I'm going to stick my OR in, and we're going to increase by 1% on our PHG trades. Now, Trump boys tariffs. He was comparing some tariffs in Europe. I had a look through some of the tariffs that I'd seen posted up about European car imports from the US. They weren't quite like what Trump said, unfortunately. I don't know what. Usually he's pretty good at getting things right and being on the mark, but some things can be a bit broad brush. Like we've seen with COVID, like, he said it's the China virus and all that sort of stuff. And it did come from China, and we do that now, and all those things that people like me got persecuted for were found to be correct, not untruths. We want to do pick up 77.80. We'll pick up 1%, 4th of the 4th, 25. In the morning. New line. People complaining about their super, I guess. But yeah, well, let's bring it up. Interest rates are dropping in the US. What we've seen is the bonds, 30-year bonds, have rallied quite substantially with all of this Trump news. This is bullish for stock markets in the long run. So while if it can get above 122, the sky is pretty well blue for quite some time, towards 130 and maybe 139, bringing down the cost of borrowing 139 is probably the max when we look at the monthly charts, and I'm not sure what interest rate that is. I was thinking we might get lower, but Trump has turned this around. You line the Australian bonds, if it can get above or get below 4% or above 96, then we could be looking at 3% borrowing for the Australian government as well if they replicate what Trump has done. So I'm putting my little bull hat on equities for a run up into late April, early May. That's the normal cycle. So if you feel like buying some stocks, it's okay now. New line XJO.ASX, all ordinaries in ASX 200. Hoping for 77.05 on a good puking. That would be kind of nice, and then a reversal. The way that the panic has set in, really, to Australia, there are some major exports to the US, like aluminium and steel a little bit. Really don't make a difference to Australia because most of our stuff goes up to China. The pharmaceuticals area are probably the ones like CSL and all that sort of thing, blood products, which we give for free and then CSL sells to make its profits. That's why we always have blood bank donation drives, because they've sold it all and they say, oh, we haven't got any blood, but all our donations go to the US to make money for CSL via the corrupt Red Cross. Anyway, if it doesn't make a new low, think for 80.70. If it does make a new low today, then we are in getting ready for a good rally. Now, really, the bull market doesn't start till Monday, but I think today is the best day for us to buy a little bit, and that's what I'm showing on the on this is what we should be doing. It's just basically giving us some getting some cash employed today, and then maybe we can do good. We can buy some more aggressively on Monday if they are going to try and panic it again. So self-managed super funds increased by 1%. New line. Now the interesting thing is the banks didn't seem to get bashed. New line. XFJ.AS6 financials index. Notice that? The banks got walloped and then they came back. Pretty good. New line. Now I prefer to be buying banks at 81.74 on the XFJ or at 78.38. So I think it's an individual bank case. New line. ANZ.AS6 new line. Yearly charts column. It's still up on the yearly charts. Stop should be at $25.42 if you are long and trying to hang on for the yearlies. New line. Monthly charts column. Stop should be at $28.13. Look up towards $33.92 on a break above $30.28. It's kind of been confused. Again, that $25.37 area appears as interesting. New line. Weekly charts, colon. No breakdown on the weekly charts. In fact, it breaks up if it gets above $29.96 or $30. Stop loss on the weekly should be below $28.12. New line. Daily charts, column, we see it get whacked down. It got up again, maybe up to $30.36 if it wants to run up, and if it wants to run down, the better buying area is $27.80 there. So let's lurk at $27.80 for the ANZ. We'll do 1/3 and stop below $27.45. Stop close only. According to the market, it should be around about $29 for ANZ to open up. New line. Let's look at CBA. CBA, new line. Yearly charts, column. This is still up. Stop for this year probably would be best at $119, and you can still buy dips to $124.19 and $125.17. New line. The words "this too shall pass" comes into my mind. New line. Monthly charts, column. We can have a stop loss at $145.55. You can buy a break above $160, and then that looks good. New line. Weekly charts, column. It's down around $150.66 or $146. Probably the best area to buy on the weekly charts, with a $2 stop close only below your entry there. New line. Daily charts, column. The market's calling to open around $152, so it should be this $150.66 area has been good. Notice volume is secretly creeping up as price is creeping up. So the banks are good. Interest rates are good for what we're seeing. I hope you can hear me okay. New line. So I don't mind CBA at 100. We'll do a nibble at $152. $1.6, $152, $1.6 at $150.66. We may be a little bit early, but anyway. So $149.60 stop loss. And some targetos, $157.80. Potential. Into new line. Ben.asx, Bendigo Bank. New line. We're currently long. We've had a stop loss at $10.50. I'm unaware if that got filled. New line. Monthly charts, column. Still an inside month on so far, and notice it's tracking kind of sideways with volume that is decreasing. Might be good if it breaks above $11.04, looking towards maybe $11.77, new line. Yearly charts column. This is still sideways to up. Stop should be below $9.29. You could still hope for $14.05, new line. Weekly charts column. We see a little bit is down. Notice volume is not really. It was decreasing when volume was decreasing when price was falling heavily, and now it's tried to bounce. It's been a little bit all over the shop. I think stop loss below $10.36 on the weekly charts makes sense. Looking for a pullback maybe up to $11.45, new line. Daily charts column. We did have a stop loss at $10.50. That was popped and stopped. So we were stopped out, exclamation mark, for a profit, I believe. Yep, on 3-4-25. New line. We've done CBA, new line. NAB.ASX, new line. Now remember, after a big stock market collapse, we often get the property sector doing well. Like, so buying houses becomes what people want to go to. Look up towards $65.13 on the yearly charts if it can break through the hoodoo at $42.80. Stop on the yearlies should be at $30.06. I don't like the volume particularly on the upside still, new line. Monthly charts column. We see that it found support getting above $35.74. Looks towards this $39.97 area. A break below $32.39 should be a stop loss and probably come back down to $30.80, new line. At this point, a little bit messy, but it's a lot cheaper than it was, and dividends are coming, new line. Daily charts, a pickup at that $33.32 is probably worth it. So let's put that in for this morning. I do like the banks at the moment because of the bonds, and most people will just be scared and not looking at the bonds. Interest rates are going lower. So I'm going to do $33.32. Stop loss below $32.60. Target $35.92. Potential. New line. WBC.ASX Westpac, new line. Yearly charts column. The yearly charts are quite good. It still could easily come back down to $27.28, new line, and still be going up, new line. Monthly charts column. On the monthly charts, look for $28.98 or $26.94 or $27.12. Should have a stop loss at $26.34 if you're buying a deeper dip. At the moment, monthlies get good above $32.40 new line. Let's buy a break above $32.40 for Westpac. If we're not still, I'm going to put in a new one here. I'm going to get a duplicate row. And the reason I'm doing that is because I feel we might have been stopped out at $30.99 yesterday. So let's just clear this up. What did I say? Break above $32.30. Stop should be below $30.89. Target $33. Potential. Now we see stop was at $30.99 or $31.16 stop close only yesterday, and we didn't get stopped on either of those. I won't change it around, I'll just deal with two of them, new line. So the banks are strong where I come from. New line. XMJ.ASX Materials Index, new line. John, banks have bigger margin when interest rates. Don't banks have bigger margin when interest rates go up? Yes, they do. But remember, they're going to bail out a lot of people who are stuck with shitty mortgages. We might have some more money. Interest rates go down. You get to refinance at better levels. There's a bit of turnover there. Customers move around. I think, particularly mortgages, it's kind of good. New line. XMJ.ASX Materials Index. Look down towards 15,411 with a stop loss below 15,363. New line. BHP.ASX new line. Yearly charts column. On the yearly charts, look for $29.53 if this poor behaviour continues below $36. New line. Monthly charts column. On the monthly charts, I just don't like this very log scale stuff. Monthly charts, $35 area is kind of a good spot. I used to be able to remove these. I don't know. Can't remember how I did it before. Here we go. $34.76. So the stop I gave you high on the yearlies. I think break below 36 is a better stop on the yearlies. Look $34.76 area for a potential pickup. Now BHP did pay its dividends yesterday, and I've got some, and I've reinvested that back into BHP as a purchase in line. Weekly charts column. We don't see very high volume on the downside yet. Things get better above $38.95, but otherwise, those $35.83 area might be interesting in the downside new line. Daily charts column. A big blast to the downside. Look for $36.20. Obviously, China is being punished, but if the US wants to get enough iron ore, we would just point our ships the other way, wouldn't we? China doesn't have to be I don't think we have long-term purchase contracts as a big percentage. New line. new line. FMG.ASX, Fortescue, buy a break above. This paid dividend as well just recently. A break above $15.84, looking for $16.80 on the daily charts, new line. Yearly charts, Colin. Yearly charts is still screwed, looking for $12.15. Look at the falling volume on the yearlies as it went up, and as it's been going down, we've seen a big spike in volume on the big reversal. So $12.15 may be a good spot, but these are much more related to China. The US will buy better quality steel, I believe, than China. Stop should be below $14.76. Look for $11.44, new line. Weekly charts, Colin. The good thing is Trump has destroyed the globalists with a lot of this stuff. Looking for $13.61 on the FMG on the weekly chart. So daily charts, Colin. $14.72 target area, new line. XEJ.ASX, Energies Index. We see a 1-to-1 on the energies. Crude oil got smashed yesterday. We had a PHG trade. We were making good money on it. We didn't make as much. Break above 78.10 looks for 81.46, new line. XGD.ASX, gold index, new line. New line. XGD.ASX, gold index, new line. Look up towards 11,671 or 11,414. Look for a pullback down to 10,577, new line. New line. Oh, did I do any stock? No, I didn't. New line. Let's go back and do the WDS.ASX, new line. Look for a pullback down towards $19.52. If things get a bit more hairier, below $21.98 on the yearly charts, new line. Monthly charts, Colin. A breakdown below $22.30 looks down towards $19.44, new line. Weekly charts, Colin. Breakdown below $22 looks for $20.83. So still a bit suspect. The volume is kind of a little bit weakening on the downside. It's not that strong, new line. The market's just opened down about 30 points. on what's open to be trading at the moment. New line. ANZ has traded as low as $28.64. Can't remember what buy zone we had. Not there yet. One second. New line. I do think getting ready for the banks for a dividend purge on cheapness is good. New line. Just looking at the banks. Westpac about to open at $30.50. New line. XGD.ASX gold index. Have a stop loss at 10,795. Look down towards 10,374. My assessment is Australia's pretty well untouched by this stuff. Now we've seen gold get pushed back down and then got back up again. So it's not dead yet. You might. Silver we've seen get pushed down and not get up again. That's quite dramatic. So the silver stocks are probably the higher risk situations. New line. Gold index still can have another pop. New line. AAR.ASX. The Australian dollar hasn't moved that much. New line. Astral came out with some nice numbers. New line. Yearly charts column. We see another break of new yearly high, so it should in theory be gunning for the old high at 22.5 cents and maybe have some trouble at 23 cents. New line. On the yearly chart, it should have probably a stop loss below 8.9 cents. New line. Monthly charts column. You see it coming out of the base-ish, looking for 25 cents. And sorry, the 23 cents is the best target for this. Stop on the monthly charts should be below 14 cents. New line. Weekly charts column. We see that it's gone 1-to-1, so closing above 18 cents is good for it. At the moment, a dip down towards 15 cents would be probably a worthwhile buy with a stop loss below 12.5 cents. If it can close above 18 cents, look towards 24 cents. New line. Daily charts column. On the daily charts, the 1-to-1 may put pressure down towards 16 cents, or a little flick up towards 19 cents might be a nice area. So have a stop loss now at 13 cents if you are long. New line. GMD.ASX. Genesis Mining. New line. Yearly charts column. Now Genesis is something I took a little bit of profit on, and it's opened and it's been as high as $3.65 and $3.63. I'd like to be selling it at $3.97 myself. So now and be selling out at that level. Actually, $3.96. New line. That's on the yearly charts column. Stop should be below $2.30 on the yearly charts. New line. Monthly charts column. Pull back down to $3.26 would be fine. Stop should be at $3.02. New line. Weekly charts column. On the weeklies, stop should probably be below $3.48. New line. You could still look for $4. New line. It's still trending up, but it is overbought. New line. Daily charts column. We saw it went 1-to-1 on some of those old lows, which is kind of nice. So it probably has $3.87 or $3.95 on its target. New line. Any gold stocks questions? I'll keep going. New line. XHJ.ASX. Healthcare Index. New line. Now we've seen that got smashed down and then regained itself. It's probably could go to 42,635 before getting down towards that 38,935. Now there's some the stocks that are going to be affected probably by the Trump stuff are including CSL.ASX. We'll go through some of those. New line. Yearly charts column. CSL, really nothing in this chart here. Stop should be below $243 on the yearly charts. Not a real lot of impact should be happening for CSL. But I think the blood products, there's no reciprocal tariffs at the moment on blood products from what people are saying. A break above $270 is good for this. It's been hanging around on the monthly charts for a couple of days, and a break below 243 looks for $213.30. I kind of like it a bit at the moment. New line. Weekly charts column. Look up towards $263. Have a stop loss at $249. New line. I don't think we need to look any deeper on this one. New line. RMD.ASX. Now this manufactures most of its stuff in the US and has most of its business in the US, so it's really doing good things according to Trump. It may come back down to $34.38 on the weekly charts column. New line. Yearly charts column. Could pull back down all the way to $28.63 and no problem. New line. ANN.ASX. Ansell. Yearly charts column. This has a lot of manufacturing in Asia, and the largest market in North America is about 42 to 45% of sales. So this could be a problem for Ansell. I guess it needs Malaysian rubber and maybe Thailand and Sri Lankan rubber. it can still easily pull back down to $25. That would be an area to try with a stop loss below $22.39 on the yearly charts. If it breaks that, look for $18.90, new line. Monthly charts, Colin. Look for $27.36 if it keeps its bad behavior up and breaks $28.62, new line. Weekly charts, Colin. Look for $27.36, 43 cents, $27.43 on the weekly charts. On the dailies, it probably needs a bit of confusion. You could look for $28.36 or up to $31 for another little dive after that. New line. I'll just get back to that, John. I didn't see your question there on PNR, Pantora. I think it's Pantora, new line. XIJ.ASX, Information Technologies Index. This should get hit. Look for 2135 or 2180 on the downside. If you think your portfolio is exploding, it probably is. New line, new line. Let's look at NXT.ASX, new line. Yearly charts column. This has broken its yearly lows. May come back to $7.88. Certainly this year, support is really not till $9.20, new line. I was thinking about buying it lower down, but no, I don't think so, new line. Monthly charts column. Look, a rally back above $12.02 could look towards $13.62 for a get out of jail, new line. Weekly charts column. Look for a pullback up to $11.98 or $12.84, new line. down towards $10.55 on the downside on the weekly charts, new line. Daily charts, column. Down towards $11.26, new line. Nothing much to be excited about, new line. XPJ.ASX property index, new line. 1564 should be the target area. Now property, as I said before, should start to pick up with lower interest rates across the board, particularly in the fixed term area. And with Trump lowering taxes, we'll see lower interest rates and a little bit of a less burden on everything. New line. GMG.ASX. Now let's look at GPT.ASX. General Property Trust, new line. Yearly charts, column. On the yearly charts, it's stuck in the middle and it starts to get ugly below $3.81 and it starts to get pleasurable above $5.20. New line. That's about all I can say on that one, on the time frame. New line. Monthly charts, column. A break below $4.10 is bad for it. A break above $4.75 is good for it. New line. Weekly charts, column. On the weekly charts, have a stop loss at $4.25. Look down towards $4.12. New line. Daily charts, column. Have a stop loss at $4.34. Look down towards $4.25 on the daily charts if it breaks down. At the moment, $4.52 to $4.67. I can't see really great reasons to jump in on this one just yet. New line. XTJ.ASX, but certainly it's worth watching some of the property index. New line. XTJ.ASX communications index, we can see that's been slapped down to a 38.2. Should get up to maybe at the 1680 area for a 61.8% retracement. New line. TPG.ASX, TPG Telecom, new line. Yearly charts, column. Now this has had a bad time of it since it changed its ticker, really. But it hasn't broken last year's low yet. Below $4, think bad things of it. Above $5.50, start to think of a retracement up to $7.50. New line. Monthly charts, column. Can have a stop loss below $4.33. Look towards $4.92. New line. Weekly charts, column. On the weekly charts, have a stop loss at $4.48. Look up towards $5 or $5.36. New line. Daily charts, column. Look for pullback down to $4.61. Stop should be at $4.59. New line. New line. A nice flag here. Probably with this shakeout, let's look to buy it down towards $4.62.
Attention, an alert target has been reached.
Under buy 1/3. Stop loss below $4.35. And target $5.26.
Attention, an alert target has been reached.
I don't know what the alert target is, but let's have a look at what it's saying. FMG below $48, that's fine. How many of these things having managed alerts? What have we got up here? Cancel. Cancel.
Attention, an alert target has been reached.
Chalice, my gold bug mate, the other night was telling me how much Chalice is crap, so we won't be touching that. New line. I don't know why I've gone to Chalice. No, sorry about that. New line. XSO.ASX Small Ordinaries Index, new line. Getting knocked around here. It looks like the XJO is down 124 points. Most indexes and things being beaten up. The grey's okay. Still the gold one's something like
Attention,
that.
an alert target has been reached.
PNR.ASX, new one. Yearly charts column.
Attention, an alert target has been reached.
Macquarie Telecom's being hit. Okay, I can see that. FEX has lasted. That's not true. New line, PNR.ASX, Pantoro is doing good. Yearly charts, we can buy dips down to 11 cents with a stop loss below 8.4 cents, looking towards 20 cents, new line. Monthly charts column. Look for a pullback down towards 13 cents or up towards 17 or 18 cents or 21 cents, new line. Weekly charts column. On the weekly charts, look up towards 18 cents or down towards 13 cents. Stop should be below 12.5 cents, new line. Daily charts column. You see this settling on the L top, down towards 14 cents, stop loss below 13 cents. Yeah, I think I wouldn't like to see it below 14 cents.
An alert target has been reached.
Rio's getting smacked. KCN.
Attention, an alert target has been reached.
So just repeated. NXT below $10.75. Let's delete this.
Attention, an alert target has been reached.
Okay. Let's look at our next two. Very sad. New line. WTC.ASX, new line. It's trying to stop itself, isn't it? But maybe $74.60 might be the better stopping area. New line, new line. PHG Trades Review, new line. We wanted to buy 1/3 at $27.80 in ANZ, new line. ANZ.ASX. Would you like to stay in a bubble? Looks terrible. What are we doing here? $27.80. Yeah, still wait for that one. New line, Bendigo Banks, we've already gone. New line, CBA, we wanted to buy at $152 on open. That didn't get filled. Bugger. New line. DEG.ASX to grey, we didn't get filled on that. FEX.ASX, along with the stop loss below 24 cents. Now this has been hedged, so they'll have some hedge profits on it. So we're entered at it's the same level. New line. MPL.ASX. This should not be affected by tariffs, I hope. Medibank Private. Currently long. Stop can be $4.43 now. New line. NAB.ASX, we wanted to buy at $33.32. New line. Notice the banks are strong. They're not being kicked like other things, it looks like. New line. NXT.ASX, we wanted to buy at $10.54. That doesn't feel that good. I didn't cancel that. It's a bit stupid. We're filled. We entered. And we entered at 4th of the 4th, 25. We will leave the stop loss there because we did plan it. We'll see what happens. New line. RHC.ASX. Ramsay Healthcare. Let's see if that shouldn't be affected, should it? And probably just general weakness. I'm going to bring this up to $30.57 for the entry. We'll leave the stop loss as is. New line. RMS.ASX. Ramelius, we wanted to buy at $1.91. Nothing in it. No chance of that happening at the moment. SUL.ASX. Super cheap, I think it is. Super retail. It's gone 1-to-1. $12.53 is where we wanted to buy it at. We missed by a frag. So let's do 1/3 at market. It's currently right on the 1-to-1. It's at $12.70. And the entry is 4th of 25 at 10:31 a.m. Enter the leave the stop loss on out. Oh shit! Stop at $12.20. Entered 1/3. We've also cancelled the RMS order here. Didn't notice. New line. SFR.ASX way out of court. New line. TLS.ASX way out of court. TPG.ASX $4.62 was where we wanted to enter in. Lows being $4.65, so not entered. New line. USL.ASX. We have a 23-cent stop or a 24-cent stop close only. $0.23 has popped. Interesting. I'm pretty sure I had a holding in USL. Not like trades. Okay, okay. WBC.ASX Westpac, we have $13.99 stop loss in one position. In the other one, you want to buy both up. That hasn't been hit. Got close. You want to buy at $32.30 a break above. Right. WWI.ASX Westbits, we wanted to buy 2.1 cent, a break above 2.1 cent. CMM is up today. That may be a re-rating of gold stocks is not that far away. Certainly hope so. Nothing there on that one. Let's have a look at that one. CMM. I don't know if I've ever looked at that one. Cap metals. Obviously I have looked at it at some stage. Wow, that's huge. Stock should be at $5.94. New line. Weekly charts column. Indexes have been down a little bit more than what it is right now. Gold stocks don't seem to be being smashed. Let's look at NST.ASX. Black Dragon's also holding pretty well as well. Yeah, NST, weekly chart, still okay. NEM.ASX. Still looking for $84.47. So look at Black Dragon, just in terms of what volume's doing. I think the big funds are maybe now looking at gold sector as a value play. Yeah, well, they give dividend stuff now. BDG thumped here. Okay, volume. Look, needs to get above 77 cents and close above 7 cents. Been looking for 9.5 cents. It's not too bad. New one. GMD.ASX. So the golds are still doing okay. Notice the 1-to-1. Still not really doing much. I sold a bit, the divergence. Yeah, still not confident selling anymore. Okay, I think that leaves us. We did pick up 41% in the morning, up 1% in the morning. And next week, hopefully, it'll be less scrambled. I'm sorry about this week. Cheers, everyone. Bye.